In the bustling hub of a city that never slept lived a man named Rohan. Rohan wasn't just any man, he was a titan of industry, a name whispered in boardrooms with a mix of reverence and fear. His days were a whirlwind of meetings, million-dollar deals, and five-star lunches. He lived in a penthouse that scraped the clouds, drove cars that cost more than most people's homes, and wore suits tailored from the finest fabrics. Did the world? Rohan had everything. But in the quiet moments, when the city lights twinkled below like a blanket of fallen stars, Rohan felt an emptiness, a void that no amount of success could fill. One sweltering afternoon, his chauffeur-driven car got stuck in a monstrous traffic jam. The air conditioning hummed, creating a cool bubble against the city's heat, but Rohan grew impatient. He tapped his fingers on the leather seat, annoyed by the delay. Glancing out the window, his eyes fell upon a small, weathered card on the side of the road. A simple, hand-painted sign read, "The 10 rupiah sandwich." Everyone who took a sandwich from the old man's hands did so with a smile. Curiosity, a feeling Rohan hadn't felt in years, pricked at him. On an impulse, he told his driver to wait and he stepped out of the car. The sudden blast of heat and the cacophony of the street was a shock to his system. He walked towards the cart, feeling out of place in his expensive suit. The smell of freshly toasted bread, onions, and a simple, tangy chutney filled the air. The old man looked up, his smile not faltering for a second. He took 2 slices of simple white bread, spread a green chutney on one and the with tamarind sauce on the other. He then added a thin slice of cucumber, tomato, and the onion, sprinkled a pinch of a secret spice mix, and he placed it in a small, hand-cranked toaster over a tiny coal stove. As he worked, he spoke to Rohan. "First time here? Son, you look like you're in a hurry. But good food, it asks for a little patience." Rohan, used to being called Sir, was taken aback by the familiar son. He simply nodded, watching the old man's hands move with a practiced grace. Sir was a love, a dedication in the way he made that simple sandwich that Rohan had never witnessed before. A few minutes later, the sandwich was ready, golden brown and perfectly crisp. The old man wrapped it in a piece of old newspaper and handed it to Rohan. "That'll be 10 rupees." Rohan reached for his wallet, pulling out a crisp 500 rupiah note. The old man chuckled. "Son, you don't have change for that. This is a 10 rupiah sandwich. It's meant for everyone." Rohan fumbled through his wallet. It was filled with high-denomination notes and credit cards. He felt a flush of embarrassment. A man who could buy anything in the city didn't have 10 rupees. Seeing his predicament, a construction worker standing next to him, who had just finished his own sandwich, tapped him on the shoulder. "Here, sir, I'll pay for you." He handed the old man a worn-out 10 rupiah coin. Rohan was stunned into silence. He tried to refuse, to give the worker a larger note in return, but the man just smiled. "It's just a sandwich. Enjoy it. Uncle G makes the best in the city." Rohan stood there, holding the warm sandwich, a whirlwind of emotions swirling within him. Humility, gratitude, and a profound sense of connection to the strangers around him. He took a bite. The bread was crispy, the vegetables were fresh, and the chutney exploded with flavor. It was simple, it was unpretentious, but it was, without a doubt, the most delicious thing he had ever tasted. It wasn't just the flavor. In that one bite, he tasted the old man's dedication, the warmth of the coal fire, and the unexpected kindness of a stranger. He finished the entire sandwich, standing lights out on the crowded pavement, the noise of the city fading into the background. He walked over to the old man, who was now serving a young student. "Thank you," Rohan sighed, his voice thick with emotion. That was incredible." The old man, whose name he learned was Ram, smiled his gentle smile again. "The secret isn't in the ingredients, son. It's in the joy of serving. When you cook to fill a hungry stomach, not just to make a profit, the food tastes different. It tastes of happiness." could have raised the price years ago. Ram told him, my customers, they tell me to. But then, the laborer who earns 200 rupees a day, the student with limited pocket money. Rohan felt a fundamental shift within him. Ram's words were a revelation. Profit wasn't just numbers on a balance sheet. True profit was the happiness you create, the lives you touch. Inspired, Rohan started a new chapter in his life. He started a foundation, using his vast resources not just to build factories, but to build schools and hospitals in underserved communities. He launched a program to provide low-cost, nutritious meals for daily Wagyu workers across the city, a program he fondly named the 10 Rupee meal. He still visited Ram's cart often. Sometimes he'd just sit on a nearby stool, sipping tea and watching the world go by. He found more peace in those moments than he ever had in any boardroom. He learned that happiness isn't found in a penthouse overlooking the city, but in a simple act of kindness on a crowded street. It's not measured in the millions you accumulate, but in the smiles you share. The 10 Rupee sandwich had changed Rohan's life. It taught him that the most valuable things in life, kindness, connection, and joy, are often the simplest, and they don't cost a thing. It's a reminder for all of us that sometimes the biggest life lessons come wrapped in newspaper, costing just 10 rupees. Thank you for watching. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe for more stories that inspire.